It's another beautiful day in Coto de Caza, and I'm sure you're very familiar with this plant. This is Rosmarinus officinalis. It is our standard, typical rosemary that we cut up in sprigs and toss into our spaghetti sauce. But today we're going to talk about this plant. This is his little sister. This is Rosmarinus officinalis Prostratus. It's also known as creeping rosemary or trailing rosemary. We find it all throughout Coto along the streets. We find it down by the clubhouse. We find it on our fairways of our golf course. We find it on the green of the 5th hole on the south course and the tee box of the 12th hole. Now this plant comes to us from the Mediterranean seaside hills of beautiful Mallorca, Spain and Corsica, and is different from the other rosemary. Now the other rosemary grows vertical and our rosemary grows horizontal, with the branches which are horizontal, which keeps it laying low to the ground, which gives us the name Prostratus or prostrate. Here are the stems from our rosemary Prostratus. Now both rosemaries are members of the Lamiaceae family or mint, and they can be used as cooking herbs for its pine-like flavor and fragrance. They're great ornamentals, and they're terrific at attracting bees and other insect pollinators. And if you want to propagate this, you can take a small younger stem, you cut it off, you peel off some of the bottom leaves, you can put it in a nutrified soil for about 2 or 3 weeks. After it forms roots, you put it into a pot for about 2 or 3 months, and after it grows into a little, say a little shrub, you can then transplant it outside to grow in your garden. Here are the flowers of our rosemary Prostratus. I don't have much to say about them, but they do come out in springtime, early summer, where they'll cover all of our rosemary, and they're terrific at attracting bees. It's a woody plant, and nobody really knows for sure why the plant lays sideways. Some believe the supporting tissues of the stems just aren't strong enough, so it lays flat. Others think that there's a genetic disposition to grow horizontal to avoid the direct sunlight, or perhaps even avoid the strong winds. Now it's used as an ornamental purposes. Many people frequently have them hanging in, hanging over in baskets, overhanging a pot or a hypertufa, and they train it to crawl over fences. Or you can also find these in rock gardens. Now we have these as ground cover in Coto de Caza, and it's also very good at keeping the weeds down, and it mixes quite well with other drought tolerant plants like these yuccas up here. So the one thing I don't like about this rosemary is that as it gets older, and if you water it too much, it gets very woody, and you get these open patches here where the leaves don't grow anymore, and even inside here you can see how woody it is, and it just becomes like a thatch of shrub instead of that beautiful low-lying ground cover that we originally intended it for. Well, I hope you enjoyed our creeping rosemary, Rosmarinus officinalis Prostratus, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.